Hey guys, it's Victoria, and I wanted to come on and talk quickly about my birth plan going into this delivery. So this is my third child, and I will link the videos below to my labor and delivery stories for my first two children. My deliveries for the two of them could not have been more different. My son was born at 38 weeks, vaginally, very few issues other than some tearing. My daughter was born at 34 weeks by C-section because she was breech, and I will link the videos below all about that because I don't want to repeat something that I've already talked about for those of you that did see that video. And I will also link the video below about the uterine condition that I have called Uterus Didelphys, which means I have two uteruses, two cervixes. So I'll link that below so you can find out a little bit more about that and about the risks that sort of come with that condition when it comes to delivery. But this video I want to focus on my birth plan for this baby. So I am hoping to have a VBAC. Now, I had a vaginal birth first, and second time labor started, my water broke, labor started, labor was progressing fine, but she was breech. So she had to come out by C-section. Breech delivery wasn't something that I was interested in, and it wasn't something that I'd even really looked into. I had enough risks going on. That wasn't something that I wanted to try. So my C-section experience was a positive one in general. So this time, baby is head down. I am hoping to have a vaginal birth. Now, I'm not someone who goes into a birth plan or into a delivery with a written out plan, which is weird because if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I am a huge planner and a huge list maker. But this is one thing that I never felt the need to really put in writing. For me, I just think it's important to be aware of my options and to go in with a completely open mind, willing to try anything, and just to do what's best for the baby. I don't want to get so set in my mind that it has to go this way that I will end up being disappointed if it doesn't, because invariably something will not go the way you planned it, really. So this baby is head down. Now, I was told at my very first ultrasound around, it was like less than 6 weeks, it was really early, that the baby was in my right uterus. Now that would make this a true VBAC because the C-section was in my right uterus. Now at a later ultrasound, I think probably around 9 weeks, this was also a technician. I see a doctor for most of my ultrasounds, a specialist, but the first couple was with an ultrasound technician. And she said, you know, if I didn't have the results here from the first ultrasound saying it was in the right, I could swear that it was in the left. But we'll go with right. But I'm not convinced, and I'm not one to really question medical opinion. Really, I'm not. But this baby is positioned exactly the same as my son, who was in the left. Her bum is high, right on the left. Her head is low, her feet are very far to the right, like kicking almost out the side, but the majority of her body is on the left. And with this condition, the uterus that the baby's in does shift quite center, and the baby takes up, you know, the general same area that a normal uterus would. But I know my daughter was really on the right. It was very obvious. My son was very on the left, and this one seems to be more on the left. So if that is the case, it's not really a VBAC because that uterus was not cut into, that did not have a C-section. So if I do end up birthing vaginally, we'll never really know which uterus the baby was in. But either way, I am hoping for a vaginal birth. I am expecting my water to break first because that's what happened the other two times. But you never know. This could be completely different. I haven't been having a lot of Braxton Hicks. I had a few yesterday that a couple in particular in the car on the way home that made me sort of pay attention, but it was like 2 and that was it. So I'm expecting my water to break, but we'll see. My plan is if labor starts before my water breaks, I probably will go to the hospital sooner rather than later. My delivery with Noah was about 6 hours from water breaking to baby born. With Alexandria, my water broke and labor started and labor progressed pretty quickly. So I'm expecting that again. So I don't want to stay home too long. I'm not someone who wants to stay home until the very end. I'm very comfortable in the hospital and I feel, very safe there. So I imagine we will head to the hospital pretty early on. If water breaks, obviously I will go to the hospital right then. And I guess I'm open to trying any position. I'm open to they have yoga balls at our hospital. They have a jacuzzi tub. I'm totally open to any of that. Different positions. I've got, massage stuff with me. I've got a heat pad with me. So anything like that, I will totally try. And anything that the nurses suggest, I will totally try. It just so happened that with Noah, I was in the bed the whole time laboring, and that was fine. I never wanted to get up. Now this time maybe I'll want to get up and walk around, but we'll see when we get there. Now I did my Group B strep swab last week, and I will get the results when I go to my next appointment, which is on Monday. Today's Tuesday, so almost a full week from now. But even if something happens between now and then, they said that they would have the results at the hospital. So hopefully, I'm not positive. I was for Noah, and with Alexandria, I didn't get to the point where we did the swab. So it's all kind of a blur, but I believe that they gave me the antibiotics anyway, just in case, as a precaution. So hopefully I'm negative, and I don't need an IV for that, but we'll see. And I guess the big question is epidural or not, or, pain management or not. Now with Noah, I had the fentanyl early. It didn't really, I don't think it really did anything. And I did have an epidural, and that will all be in my video. I don't want to repeat myself. I find myself starting to do that. That is all in my video, my birth video from him. But this time I'm not sure. And I don't know if it's a decision I'm going to make before I go, or if it's a decision I will make once I'm there. My guess, and I haven't talked to the doctor about this, my guess is that the doctor will prefer that I have the epidural just because it is a VBAC. The chances of uterine rupture with my condition are really unknown. They believe it's probably a bit higher than it would be with a normal uterus, but probably not much. But I know with Noah, they wanted me to have an epidural because of the unknowns. And they didn't push it by any means, but the doctor was very pleased when I said, yes, I do want the epidural. Now, both times I labored pretty much to 10 centimeters before I had any type of pain medication. Like with Noah, if the doctor didn't want me to have that epidural, I'm convinced that they wouldn't have bothered because I was so far along. I was ready to push. My whole body was bearing down, and they got the anesthesiologist in there at the last minute, and I got the epidural, and it really, really helped with pushing. Now, it's hard to say, again, because you can't compare. You either have it with an epidural or have it without. I think it really helped with the pushing for the first hour. The last half hour or so, I think I felt everything. It seemed like I felt everything. And then, of course, with Alexandria, I labored without anything, and then they gave me the spinal for the C-section. So I'm confident that I can make it through the labor without the epidural. I'm scared about the pushing part. And I do have a feeling, though, without an epidural, I could probably be a more efficient pusher. I know how to push this time because I've done it before. I'm scared of that part. The contractions are sort of, yeah, they get awful, but then they fade away. So the pushing and the burning ring of fire, I'm scared of that part. So my guess is we'll probably make the decision when we get there as to whether or not I have an epidural. Possibly because I am being open-minded means I will end up getting it. And I'm not someone that there is absolutely no shame in doing whatever you need to do to get your baby here. So I'm not going to feel like I failed or anything. But I kind of would like to say that I did it without. This will probably be my last baby. And to be able to say that would be, it's kind of an accomplishment, I guess. But I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself because some women, I know the epidural really, really helps them and helps them progress and helps them get through the hardest part of it. and without it, they probably wouldn't be able to do it. And that's, you know, that's totally commendable for women to recognize that, I guess. So I guess that's about it for my birth plan. Afterwards, I pray to God that I can have her on my chest right away and snuggle her and hold her and just kiss her, because I missed out on that last time. And it took a long time to get over that, that I missed out on that. So I really pray that I can do that this time. And we will probably do like delayed cord clamping. I think our hospitals, that's pretty standard. I think that's about it for, you know, my plan. It's like the one time in my life I don't go into something with a solid, like, on paper plan. But I just hope everything goes well, and no matter what happens, if I end up with a C-section, if I end up with an epidural, no matter what, as long as I can get that baby here happy and healthy, then I believe I will have succeeded. So thanks for watching. If you guys want to share any of your experiences down below, especially if there's anyone who has done a vaginal birth with an epidural and then done one without, I would love to hear any type of story like that, just to compare. So thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Have a great day.